Hello, Middleton, and welcome to another episode of Planck's Principles podcast. Thank you for joining me this week as I look forward to sharing with you a bit of insight about the spirit here at Middleton High School and how that impacts our culture and climate. Just recently, as homecoming came to an end, I began to think a little bit about the fall of 2014. That was my first year here at Middleton, and we had just over 400 students in attendance at our homecoming dance. This year, 4 years later, we had just about 1,200 students at our dance. This got me to think a little bit about what is changing and what some of the things that we're doing here at the high school really are, and that maybe for a lot of our families, you may not know some of the things that are happening. So I thought first I'd share a couple of meetings that happened this week. One was our meeting of our captain's table. The captain's table has been around for almost a quarter of a century. It's headed up by our athletic director, Bob Jors, and he meets with a group of about 33 student leaders most of whom are captains on our sports teams, but not entirely. And they talk about a variety of different things. They talk about how to support one another, and when there are challenges on their teams, and if one team's dealt with something and another hasn't, how they might support each other. They talk about volunteering in the community, sportsmanship, college advice, how to connect to the school, and a whole variety of things. And so this is a pretty amazing group. They meet about monthly, a little bit more than that. And it's an amazing opportunity to sit down and hear from our students. Also this week, there was a meeting of our Student Equity Coalition. This is a group of students that are made up of a variety of different student organizations. Our Student Voice Union, SVU, our Black Student Union, BSU, our Latinos Unidos, LU, and our Students Advocating for Gender Equity, or SAGE. All of these groups are represented as part of our Student Equity Coalition. They have large group meetings and small group meetings, and I am fortunate enough to be able to join them when they meet as a small group to talk about the state of affairs here at Middleton High School and how students are experiencing high school today. That's a very powerful conversation as well. We also have a very new group that is starting. It is called our Leadership Council, and this group is sort of like our captain's table, but is made up of all student organization leaders coming together to talk about the kinds of things that they are taking on, the kinds of things that they're experiencing. So there are many, many opportunities to celebrate our culture and climate. And one really finite example that I would share with you before I leave today is that for the past couple of years, many of us that attend our varsity football games have observed the fact that our band is staying for the entire game. After the game, they've been playing a beautiful piece that has been partly for them, partly for parents who stay, and partly for our athletes themselves. What's most impressive, however, is that there are now what started out as just a happenstance experience, some of our student athletes coming over to thank the band for being there has become a new tradition. And now we're seeing the entire football team come over, stand in an arc, facing the band, listening to their final piece, and thanking them for being there. It's this kind of mutual respect that is enough to really bring a smile to anyone's face and really speaks volumes about the real, true culture and climate here at Middleton High School. I hope that, like me, you will at some point get to see something like that that makes you smile and reminisce about your own experiences in high school. See you next week.